Hello everybody, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Zoom Speak Easy. My guests today are a part of a film that created magic and it continues to do so. Films that give you hope, a film that tells you to dream further, and of course the actors are supremely talented. Vikrant and Medha brings to us of course the team of 12th Fail Back.
Thank you so much,
you,
Rudrani. It
Rudrani.
is such a pleasure to see you again.
I'm so happy I'm doing this.
Henna?
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
Finally we're making this
Finally.
happen, and at a time where we celebrate 25 weeks. Both of you know how much I've liked the film.
You've been very generous, and I would like to say this on record, but thank you so much. You've been so generous, not just for 12th Fail, and you've been so supportive of me. So, thank you so much. Thank you.
Always the most humble actor, both of them, but Vikrant is another person altogether, isn't he?
Yes.
But for me, which is why celebrating a film in theatres for 25 weeks,
Yes.
a film that they competing with, like you say, the big guns, all the Massey projects, and it survived, it fought like your character did, both of your characters actually. I want to say, let me understand how both of you are feeling right now about that.
I mean, you've said it. I mean, it's a phenomenal feat. It was not even a dream, actually. I'll tell you why. Because never had I thought I would accomplish this. Because we felt, gone are those days where silver jubilee, golden jubilee hoti thi. And especially in urban areas, in multiplexes, there is so much of competition. There are so many movies releasing every week. Until a month ago, when Sir and I spoke, and he said we might hit that milestone, and that is when it kind of struck me that, okay, this could be my reality someday. And here we are, celebrating silver jubilee of a movie in 2024, in an age where attention spans are like worse than a fly. So yeah, that's how it is.
Medha.
Like he rightly put it, it's very unheard of for a film to complete 25 weeks in cinema and celebrate Silver Jubilee. So this is absolutely unprecedented what this film has managed to achieve, and we're beyond grateful for the love audiences have given us.
Medha का official tag अब क्या है?
National crush.
Did you tease her about it? Let me
नहीं, अभी थोड़ी देर पहले मैंने किया था इसे, but very well deserved, very well deserved.
Thank you.
नेशनल क्रश तो है ही.
अब तो है.
चाइना में रिलीज होगी हमारी फिल्म, फिर हो जाएंगी ग्लोबल.
Global. That's true. But Medha, how has that been? I want to ask how your friends and family have reacted to that. You know what happens? That is more interesting because they've seen you struggle so much. They've seen you work so hard, right? And they know what you're capable of because they are the ones who are actually standing by and believing in you. You're walking and then you're seeing everybody calling you and Instagram reels being dedicated to you. Must be a very different feeling for you and your friends around you.
Yes. So, like you rightly said, when the OTT release happened, everything changed suddenly because overnight there was like my Instagram blew up and everything was about 12th Fail and the scenes from 12th Fail and National Crush and this, that, of course. So, I'm very grateful, and my family is... I think now it's sunk in, but yeah, from time to time they still get a bit overwhelmed. My father keeps telling me, this person is calling, speak to this person wants to speak to you. So recently my brother had come home and I was doing some photo shoot for an event, and my brother was so overwhelmed by the whole, because first time he was looking, oh, she's wearing a gown, she's looking like this, there are photographers, there's a whole styling, this thing. He's taking videos on his phone slyly from the corner and feeling so proud. So these are just moments where, like you said, we come from outside. Our families have not seen any of this success or stardom or this kind of love and adulation. So every time when I step out, somebody wants to take a picture. My father gets very like, oh wow, how cute of these people taking pictures with you. So yeah, everybody's enjoying. Yeah, they're very happy.
I'm delighted for you because I know
Thank
you worked
you.
hard. So it's
Thoroughly well deserved.
isn't it? It's just fantastic.
Thank you guys.
We're all aware of the body of work you have, Vikrant, and there is no doubt in saying that you're capable of so much more. I don't think there's anything that Vikrant Massey can't pull off today, and I've been
I
saying
love
this
you,
for a while.
Rudrani. Thank you so much.
Well, I love
You're
you
so
too,
kind.
but it is true. I am not genuinely. This is not sitting out here and giving maska. It is true. You all know. We all know what you're capable of, but I think both Mr. Vidhu Vinod Chopra and you have been kind of. You'll have managed to create something that we've not seen before again. And he's been able to sort of extract that potential out in a very beautiful way in this story. What are your thoughts on this analysis of mine?
You're bang on. I think the two of us complement each other like hand in glove. And he's been generous enough to even go out there on public platforms and appreciate my work. And likewise, I have also gone out there and thanked him, because the truth of the fact is that I would have not been here had he not backed me. And so yeah, as I said, I think both of us complement each other. We are pretty much alike as people. Our worldviews remain the same. And he is someone I can very proudly say that he is a mentor beyond action and cut. And yeah, so 12th Fail, and we even said it during the marketing of the film or even on the poster, it's based on a true story, but it's inspired by a million true stories. And one of those, or the two of those 2 million stories, one of them was Vinod sir and one of them was me. We've had similar life experiences. We feel the same way. I think if to cut the long conversation short, I think we are cut from the same cloth. And that's probably one of the reasons why a lot of people see a commendable partnership between the two of us. And yeah, I mean, that's how it is, and I'm really looking forward to coming back and doing something together again.
So I take this moment to say that this is what happens when producers and directors who truly believe in the craft go beyond thinking of business.
Absolutely. And
this is what happens.
Thank you for saying that. Because that man, even when we were making this film, he's gone on a public platform, he's said that my wife was skeptical of the fact who is going to come and watch your film in a cinema screen, on a cinema screen with Vikrant. And he said, koi baat nahi, hum apne Wazir Bagh wale farm house mein dekh lenge, koi baat nahi. Even if there are no distributors wanting to take this film, I am making this film because I believe in it. And I want to make it with this boy because I believe in this boy. And that's the kind of faith he had, not just on me, but the story, on her, on every single member of this team. And very seldom, very, very seldom, it's a rarity rather, to find someone with that gumption, with that strength of character. And here we are, we are celebrating the Silver Jubilee. And so, and he says it, he says it time and again. Everything is not just about numbers, it's not about what enters your bank balance. There's also, because the definition of success today has changed far more than just monetary gains. Success is so many things to so many people. And your box office success, which is important, of course, because this is business by the end of it, but that is not the only barometer. It is one of the barometers to measure success. But there are so many other things that you also have to sort of pay attention to and satiate your own creative thirst. You usually want to go out there and do certain things for your own self.
And without adding any dance numbers or item numbers just to quit. You know what I'm trying to say? With completely keeping it pure that way. I think that is again...
with us you can go out and speak as honestly without any gimmick. And sir always says this, mujhe koi gimmick nahi karna hai. To not just to go out there with a bait in your hand and just wanting to just, fool people and bring them in just so that you can make those extra $500. No, can't do that.
Also, not adding whatever you call the masala or whatever. He's also, if you see, people have dissected this about this film, that he's not added background music also to after a point. Because that just shows he has such conviction in his storytelling and filmmaking and his actors. And that's again a rarity. That you're not depending on background music to evoke emotion out of audiences.
He's an uncompromising man. I think all of us know that by now.
And I love that. And you all are uncompromising actors. Because, to bring you in here, Medha, singing on spot, a lot of belief in yourself to be able to be convinced that I'm going to do this rightly, whether it's singing for a part.
This film definitely has been emotionally challenging because that's the character, that's the demand of the script. So there were a couple of moments where I would feel the pressure of the performance or because Sir's standards are really high, like we know now. His standards are really high, so you have to give that performance to him, which is like 100 on 100. So sometimes it's been that, but sir has really walked me through this, holding my hand, he's guided me through this. So it's been wonderful, and like you said, self-belief, I think I would say the 5-6 years that I've been in Bombay, I've worked tremendously hard. So I think before getting this film, I had worked hard enough on myself to be confident to some extent in who I was as an actor. And that's precisely why I think I landed the part. So self-belief again is very important. See, the result scene definitely was quite daunting, because you were surrounded by so many people. You know, it's easier to perform when there's no noise around you, you're just two people acting in a room. But when there are real students around you, and there's chaos and there's all of that, and there's 10,000 other external factors, it's sometimes difficult to focus. And that also was a climactic scene. It was a very heavy on performance scene. It was very emotionally charged up scene. So that for me, and to get that right, was very important. So I think that is one scene that I think I was very, very careful of, that it has to be right and have to feel right and has to come out really well, and I think it has. I think it's one of the most loved scenes of the film.
Not bad.
It's not bad. I mean, it's
one
good.
of the best scenes of the, I feel
It's
that's
great.
what collectively audiences
Vikrant
feel.
never finds anything good.
But he's critical now of his this thing.
Yeah.
But it's a lovely scene. So
It's a beautiful scene.
Yeah, that, and in general for me as an actor, the I Love You Manoj scene was very difficult, because on paper it was a much longer scene. In the film that you see, it's an edited version.
Correct.
So that was very difficult. That day was a bit daunting for me, shooting that. But yeah, it came out well, so I'm happy.
It came out fantastic. What is most interesting also is that you all swept the award season.
One major to go. One more major.
You know, obviously swept the award season. But what is also interesting is that you were there representing, both of you went wherever you could. But I know Mr. Vidhu Vinod Chopra didn't want to go out there. I don't think it was disrespect at all. He has said numerous times that he doesn't believe in it anymore. But it also proves that why he's in the business and what he believes in.
And he's a man who walks the talk.
Yeah. So I want your thoughts on that.
I mean, I love him for that. I love him. Besides the filmmaker and the producer and the mind that he is, I love him for the spine that he has. And he's a man, as I said, full of gumption. He's not hollow within. He's got a solid metal inside. And that's one of the reasons why he's survived in the business for 45 years. He's been making films even before all of us were born.
Yeah.
And so he's a man with a very, very strong spine who walks the talk.
Did you want at any time to say, do you want to come along?
I wanted him to come along.
Yeah, we all did.
I really wanted him to come along.
How did that
I in fact wanted to walk the stage with him. Because it's only because of him. And I wanted to hold his hand and walk the stage with him. But when he told me why he was not willing to walk there with me, I completely respected that.
Which is pretty much that he doesn't believe in awards anymore.
And I loved him a little more then.
Technically, Vikrant could just go to the set and then just go back and not do anything in between is your ideal life. Medha, I know, is a part of it, but I know people will push you now and say to be a part more, do all of that, right? But with Rans, you have very, very proudly said that, I don't know how to build a brand. I want to know how that is today, because I know the floodgates have opened.
It would be really foolish of me to change now. Even back then, it would have been like, though I tried, and you know me, we know each other. So, when we spoke, like say maybe 4 or 5 years back as well, I tried and I failed miserably.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized it does not come naturally to me. It is not something that is up my alley. And I very genuinely, at the cost of sounding pompous, I really find 24 hours way too less in a day. And there is so much to do. So I would rather utilize that time doing something productive which is going to be worth my time and eventually give me some sense of satisfaction rather than self-doubt. So coming back to today, yes, far more opportunities. People have been really kind. There's a lot more love pouring in. But I would be foolish to change my game plan, if I have to, for the lack of a better word. Because I want to go back home, spend time with my family. I want to sit with my book. I want to sleep. I want to, on a Sunday, go play my cricket. And I also want to prep for the films that I'm doing. And that sums up the day. So I really don't have the bandwidth. And I would want to quote VVC again here. You know, in one of his masterpieces, Three Idiots, he said it. Excellence को chase करो तो success झक मारा के पीछे आएगी.
Yeah.
And that is what we are aspiring to achieve, you know, individually and together as a team. So we just want to go out there, make movies that make us happy. In so many ways, we also want to go back and give it back to those people who give us what we have. Everything that we have is because of the audiences. They work hard. They shell out their time and money to go to cinema screens and watch us. And we better be worth their time. And that's the primary focus. So if I'm able to deliver on that front, I think the rest of the things, as I said, which are concomitant, would follow.
This question is for both of you. Okay. What are the advices that you did not take, that you're very happy as an actor today when you're sitting in front of me? Because they've actually added to who you are today. Which are the advices that you did not take? Because actors get free, बहुत free funding advice.
Unsolicited advice तो बहुत
मिलती
है. बहुत.
तो कौन से नहीं लिए?
To begin with, there's a common perception that you need to socialize.
Oh, yeah. Just
You know, you really need to dress up and you need to go to events. You really need to be there. You need to be visible. And that was the thing I was talking about. I tried and I failed miserably at it. It just does not come naturally to me. And as you said, you know, Rudrani, you know me. I would rather, after my pack-up, just sit in my car, just go home and do my bit, watch a movie or just sleep.
And now, daddy duties.
Daddy duties. Changing diapers. Yeah, loving it though. So, yeah, that was one unsolicited advice which I tapped into and quickly realized, thank God for that you need to socialize. You need to be a people's person. You know, you really need to...
Makes me anxious, the word people's person.
You need to be a people's person. I mean, yes, I want to be a people's person, but I would rather do that through the medium of my work.
Yeah, well said. Were there any more advices that you didn't take as an actor?
I mean, there are many that keep floating around. You know, don't overexpose yourself. Yeah, for example, I mean, dress up a certain way. They're like, you know, dress. It's so expensive. I mean, firstly, I find it so awkward to wear something that 20 other people have worn. वो भाड़े के कपड़े पहनना मुझे बहुत बुरा लगता है. मुझे नहीं अच्छा लगता. So I wear my own t-shirt, I wear my own joggers, and I am far more comfortable in that. And
so cute.
I can't do that. And it's so expensive. Like just for a 2-hour event, I really don't want to shell out $50,000. It's my hard-earned money.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it, you know. And I am an actor. I want people to associate with me through the work I do rather than what I wear or what dog I have or what car I have. It really does not matter.
Like bringing you and Medha here. What were the advices that you didn't take?
So for me, the biggest one was network is your net worth. So that still gives me anxiety because, what does this mean? Because, you know, when I came to the industry, I like you know, I didn't know one soul from the industry, right? And I'm not a very outgoing person. A lot like him, I also, after set, I'm in my house, I'm a very big homebody, so I don't step out of my house. So it's not that I know how to make friends or do that, and I don't know how that helps you in getting work. Maybe it does for some people. So I did not thankfully take anybody's advice when they said ki network, meet more people, because it didn't make sense to me. I don't know how meeting friends or making friends is going to give you work. So all I focused was on my craft and just giving auditions consistently, and that's how I've come where I've come and reached where I've reached. So yeah, that one, networking and socializing and being at parties. I don't think anybody gets work by going to parties.
There's one more that I want to, after you're done.
Yeah,
sorry,
I'm done. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, one advice that I absolutely downrightly kicked in the ass there and then was to date a fellow actress.
What?
To date a fellow actress to make an equity. Be a brand, you know, be a power couple.
Yeah.
You know, find someone who's single, find someone who can join hands with you and make an equity out of the two of you. I mean,
okay, this is new to me. I've never heard.
No, this is. I know what he's saying.
I mean,
a lot of actors have said this.
That's one thing that, and without any qualms, I kicked it right in its ass there and then. Yeah.
So he's a green flag person. He's in love, he met.
Yeah, yeah.
He couldn't do it. Among the very few green flags that we have. We will protect Vikrant.
Yes, Sheetal will have many counters to that.
It's sad because there was a time when they used to only want to promote films through like Iska Affair Chal Raha hai,
Yeah.
Okay.
isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it takes time because, you know, it's interesting I'm bringing this conversation because both of you, of course, have been in situations that are similar. Because actors who had their own ideals, who wanted to act. You've been in a situation when you didn't have hardly anything, like, you know, very less money in your account. We all know you've seen those days, but you didn't give up, right? It looks nice, but I know you'll always hold on to that moment where you didn't have anything. Which is why I think a lot of this conversation also makes sense, right? It comes back to that. How do you today look back to that moment?
I think your difficult times build your character. You know how they say tough times make great men make easy times make weak men. So it's like that. So your tough times will always help you in the long run because today we are experiencing success. Tomorrow that might not be there. So we'll always go back to the struggle because we've made it on our own. We've seen the struggle, we've seen the difficult times. So I think it builds character, and a strong character is what takes you forward in the long run.
I mean, thank God for that actually.
Yeah.
Thank God for that. I mean, a lot of, as she said, you know, your character building sort of stems from there. And I'm a very firm believer. I love history. You know, a lot of people misunderstand history as a thing of the past, but history is actually a precursor for the future. On the contrary. So, I mean, some of the greatest things, whether they are inventions or breakthroughs, have happened in difficult times, you know. So it's everything that has happened has shaped me the way I am today, and also because the reason why I quote history is because, you know, history also teaches us that everything is so transient in life. You know, nothing is permanent. So I mean, it's great to rejoice your accomplishment. It's great to sort of celebrate it, but also realize that nothing is going to be stagnant. And in fact, it's worse if it is stagnant, you know, whether joy or despair. I mean, it really needs to flow. And that's what makes it interesting. So, reflecting back upon the times gone by, I think, as I said, thank God for that. I'm glad they happened. And so
here we are.
I wouldn't have asked for anything otherwise.
It makes me believe that good things happen to good people.
Great things happen to good people.
Absolutely. No matter what.
I have always said this.
Our grandparents were right. Their grandparents were right. Life existed the same way before us, and it will continue to be so even after we are gone. Good things happen to good people.
Great, guys. Great things happen to good people.
Great
It may take a little longer, but it always happens.
And then I'm going to come back straight to this beautiful film that we continue to celebrate. I hope it goes on because
thank you.
This film also, like I said, it's a beacon of hope for a lot of other films that have been struggling to tell the story in today's time. We know the scene, the action chal rahi hai, yahi conversations. I've spoken to so many, producers. I've spoken to so many actors. I spoke to Tapsi, and she was telling me what those conversations are in those rooms today and how difficult it is becoming more and more to make subjects that you believe in. Because they'll always ask for example, even for OTT. We all know the truth of the matter. There are very few VVCs that exist and very few actors who are willing to not take that money and just be there. I want both of your thoughts on this.
I think, that's somewhat true. And we are really stoked about this thing. You know, it really gives us immense pride, but firmly grounded on the ground at the same time.
Sure.
So, the idea is that, yes, I mean, there are so many, like we were talking about unsolicited advices, you know, that will always keep floating around. But I would come back to 12th fail again is because of this tremendous self-belief. There are multiple permutations and combinations because, yes, eventually this is business, you know. There are so many aspirations attached. In an average film, there are at least 200 people attached. With those 200 people, there are 200 dreams and aspirations attached. But whatever little experience I have, I would just say it boils down to your intent, you know. And you can have as many intents as you want. I mean, not everyone should go out there and say कि मैं ईमानदार हूँ, हार नहीं मानूंगा, रार नहीं ठानूंगा. If it doesn't suit you, want to go out there, make a money making churner, please go ahead. You have all the rights to go ahead and do that. Your intent needs to be clear. What unfortunately tends to happen is that under the garb of sincerity and a good film, you know, we want to make a good film, we want to, you know, go out there and do something creative.
Yeah.
Under the garb of it lies the true intent, which exactly is what takes you down the drain. Be upfront about it. Be honest about it. I am making this film because I want to make money. I am making this film because I want to share hope. I am making this film because I want to make it for XYZ reason. So under the garb of it, a lot of corruption exists, and that's where things go awry. Coming back to the last thing, why 12th Fail is an example is, again, it comes down to this core strength of this film, which is Vidhu Vinod Chopra. He wanted to go out there, and we've said it time and again. It's his story, it's my story, it's Manoj sir's story. There are millions of Manojes, millions of Shraddhas out there. ये उनकी कहानी है.
Yeah.
And when there are so many people's stories attached, you know, you really cannot go out there and under the garb of sincerity want to just do something that you're not meant to. I think intent is pretty much visible. Yeah. And smaller films. Sorry. And why 12th Fail is a beacon of hope for smaller films. I think 12th Fail is a reiteration. This is actually not the first so-called small film or a mid-budget film to do exceedingly well.
Sure.
It's happened before, but it's a reiteration because we don't see these things happen often, but it's happened before.
In the post-COVID era, very few.
Very few, very few. Yes. So yeah, just go out there, make your film with as much sincerity as you can, and also VVC is a master at production. You know, he is someone who will, yes, do what he wants to do, but within a stipulated budget. And that is why a film like 12th Fail does the business it does.
Medha.
He's already said it. I think Vidhu sir keeps telling us the same thing, that the intent has to be right. If the intent is right, that's your job, right? The numbers and the love and the respect, all of this will follow or not follow. That's not in your hands, but your intent while making the film has to be right. Yeah. And like you rightly said, this film has become like a beacon of hope to other filmmakers, to other producers, actors, directors. I hope it serves as a beacon of hope to them, so that they get the courage, they find the courage to tell the stories they want to tell without thinking about XYZ formula or whatever, and they can honestly just tell heartfelt stories that they want to tell.
Absolutely. Because I teased him a little, I will tease you a little as well. So, national crush.
Oh,
who does Medha think is truly national crush? You are there, na, in that. I like how Vikrant, we both are like.
Yeah.
Guys, can you not? What is this Miss India question? It seems like.
So cute,
Oh God, yeah, no, cute question. No, I'll just say, it's okay, it's a big crown. We all can share it for every girl. That's like Shraddha in the country.
Miss World.
Yeah,
Miss World.
We'll all share the crown, guys.
But I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Immense respect for the artists that both of you are. Will continue to cheer for the work that you're doing, and I hope that all kind of crazy roles come to the two of you. Thank you so much. Always lots of love.
You're all lovely.
Thank you. Thank you.